Hey everyone, welcome to the Diamond Forces group. This is the very first video training, and I'm so excited that you're part of this group because as the other fellow Diamond coaches know, once you get to Diamond, it changes a lot in your business, and it really changes who you are as a leader because you've been able to get yourself to a point where you have a team to lead and you have the world at your fingertips at this point. And it is super exciting. And I know that our hopes and dreams and our heart is to help you get to Diamond and go beyond that. So that's why we're here, and we are super, super excited to get started. My name is Emily Copeland. I am a Diamond coach. I've been a coach for about 10 months now, and you may have heard my story on a Team Next Level call not too long ago, and I'll try and make it short, but basically I've been a coach now for 10 months, but I've actually been involved with Beachbody for the last 5 years or so. I lived in California, and I became a coach because I found Michelle Myers through Twitter, which is Twitter was really the thing back then, and it was kind of just starting. Well, I got to know her on Twitter, and we'd never met in person, but I loved her love for health and fitness and her drive, and I knew that she and I had something in common, and it was that we both loved Beachbody workout programs because I had done them since high school. And so I fell in love with them, and I knew she loved it, and she told me about this opportunity called coaching. And for me, it was a very easy sell because I love the programs. Chalene Extreme was coming out, and to be able to get a discount on the Chalene Extreme program and to make money doing what I was already doing, which was just sharing with my friends and family the workouts, because I got everybody at college involved in Turbo Jam in my dorm room. We were all, doing the workout in the hallway and turning the music up really loud. And so it was very easy for me to picture myself as a coach. So in 2009, I signed up, and I was actually Michelle's very first coach, which is crazy to think all the way back then. So that was fun. Well, what happened was I wasn't so sure about the business. I was actually Diamond. I went Diamond probably, 5 or 6 months it took me, and it was really exciting, but it wasn't a good situation because I had signed up all of my girlfriends who were like, yeah, sure, I'll support you. Sure, I'll buy some Shakeology, no problem. But they didn't have any interest in actually growing the business and making it something, whether it was a full-time income or something that they really put a lot of work and effort into. It was just to help me out. So that made my foundation very weak. So kind of once I realized, like, man, this business just doesn't seem to be rocking and rolling, and I don't have anybody who really wants to work the business, I got really discouraged. And at that same time, Michelle actually contacted me and said, hey, Emily, there's this really cool opportunity with the Beachbody's company consultant, Craig Holiday. He's looking for an assistant, and you are local, and he's in Newport Beach, and I only lived about 15 minutes from there. So long story short, I became his personal assistant, and I quit coaching. So for the last 4 years, I actually was a personal assistant to about 8 different Star Diamond coaches for Beachbody. Lindsay Matway I worked for like a couple weeks, but she's probably the name that you would know the most out of all of those people. So I loved it. I loved working behind the scenes and helping them grow their business and running everything behind the scenes. And it was wonderful until I moved to Texas, and I live in the middle of nowhere, West Texas, Odessa to be specific. And I knew I needed something to do, something that was going to get me involved with people, because there's a lot of people in Odessa, but I just hadn't made any friends yet. So I decided to coach again. Well, second time around has been completely different. I have totally different dreams and goals for myself and for my business, and I'm super excited. And I know that Diamond is where I really wanted to be, but I want to go so much further, and I know that so many of you have the same dreams. So that's kind of my story in a nutshell. And let me just tell you that it takes a lot of hard work to get to Diamond. And we believe in everybody that is in this group. You wouldn't be in this group otherwise. So really just soak up everything that you learn in this group over the next 30 days and use it, apply it, and get familiar with what it takes to be diamond and to maintain diamond and to go above and beyond. So that's a little bit of my story. Let's go ahead and dive into the material that we have. Today I'm going to be talking about social media and branding. I know a lot of you are close to diamond, so a lot of you will know what this takes and what social media means and looks like and what it's going to take to do well through social media. But I hope there's some other takeaways that you can get from today. But let's first talk about branding. I want to say one word to you that is you just need to get this ingrained in your head, because it's the most important thing as far as all social media goes and all of branding. And that word is consistency. You'll hear that a lot in this business, but you really can't be successful unless you are consistent. That's just how it is. That's the nature of the beast. That is the nature of success in general, all across the board. So you really need to be consistent, work your business every day, and don't give up, but just be consistent. That's so, so huge. So there is a quote that I wanted to read from the book Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk. And you've heard me talk about this. You've seen your coaches talk about this book. And if you haven't read it for yourself yet, please do yourself a favor and get this book. I know we're reading GoPro together this week and this month, but this is definitely a book that you need to start reading and investing. If you want to do well in social media, if you want to make your mark in social media, you need to read this book. But I just wanted to read a quote that he said, and it was so good. It says, "The incredible brand awareness and bottom line profits achievable through social media marketing require hustle, heart, sincerity, constant engagement, long-term commitment, and most of all, artful and strategic storytelling." So good. And he said, don't ever forget it, because that's the most important thing. So, of all those things, like I said, consistency. That's what he mentioned. The next thing is branding yourself. How do you do this? You may have heard and listened to other calls that talked about this, and I hope you did. But if you're not really sure how to brand yourself, we're going to talk through it. Here are some questions that you need to write down, and these are things that you're going to think through this week. This is really important that you answer these questions, write it down, and get familiar with where you are with these questions. But question number one, who do you want to be? Your brand is you. You are your brand. So you need to tell your story, and you need to figure out who you want to be. And I'm not telling you to go find somebody else that you want to copy and mimic and become like somebody else. I want you to be you, because you are your biggest selling point. There are things about you that are going to sell things and products and programs to other people that I can't. There's things about you that people love that they, wouldn't be drawn to me, because they love what you have to offer. And so you are your own brand, but you need to figure out who it is that you want to be. Do you want to be a coach who is, all hands on? Do you want to be somebody who works with people daily? Do you want to physically together? Do you meet in person? Do you want to be a coach who is super knowledgeable in nutrition? Do you want to be a coach who really connects with stay-at-home moms or college students? You kind of have to figure out your niche and who you want to be. Are you going to be the tough love coach? Are you going to be the encourager? All of these things are things to take into consideration, but it's good to write these things down so you have an idea of who you are as a coach. And the biggest thing is to share your story. Please, please, please make it a point to share your story when you are branding yourself. That's your most powerful tool. You've heard that before. But really and truly, it will make all the difference in the world. And when you tell your story, that's when people get to know who you are and see what direction that you are going in with your business and how you can help them specifically. Because, some people are going to really relate to your story more than others. But it's so important to share that. what are your strengths? Like I said, are you a tough love coach? Are you able to just tell people, with love, the truth, what they need to do? Are you an encourager? That's what I am. I know for me, I'm not necessarily a tough love coach. I am an encourager. I'll encourage the heck out of you. But, that's one of my strengths, and I have many weaknesses to go along with that. But what is your strength? Play into that. How can you use that? For me, I've been trying to, because I love to encourage people, I like to, send out daily encouraging texts to different customers and different coaches. Just something, not even anything like super, big and inspirational, but just something, hey, I saw this picture, you really look great, and you are working so hard, and I just want to let you know that you are doing a great job. Something very simple, but it plays into my strengths because that is something that I just long to do. I want to encourage you. So figure out your strengths. The next question is, who do you want to reach? So important. Obviously, we would all love to reach everybody. That's a given. We all want to help as many people as we possibly can. But you need to figure out the general direction of people that you want to reach. So, like for me, I know it's stay-at-home moms. Those are just the people that I relate with the most right now at this stage in my life. If you're a college student, you may relate more to college-age people. And so, definitely gear your content and gear everything that you post towards that group of people. Obviously, you're going to reach more than just the college students or the stay-at-home moms or the business people. You're going to reach more people than that. But you want to be specific in that reach towards that one group of people. That's really important. Who do you want to reach? Number 3, what outlets can I commit to being consistent in? This is really important, and he covers this a lot in the book Jab, 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 Right Hook. He kind of goes through all the different outlets and what's available and which ones are the best, and how you can be the best in each social media outlet: Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, all those different things. So you need to figure out what platforms can you commit to. If it's just Facebook or just Twitter or both of those but nothing else, or just Pinterest, figure that out, because you want to be the best that you can be in certain outlets and certain platforms. You don't want to be all over the board, unorganized, barely here in this outlet and barely here, but you're kind of all in on this one. You want to figure out exactly, okay, if I'm going to be on Facebook, I'm going to spend the majority of my time there. If I'm going to be in Twitter as well, I'm going to divide the time equally, but I'm going to make sure that I give 100% of me to those things, so that one's not just kind of barely hanging. Because people see that. People know, and they're watching you. And they're going to know when you put half the effort into something, and like you're kind of there, but and you're kind of reachable. They can reach you sometimes, like 5 or 6 hours after you post something, because you're not really in that site. So really connect with the platforms that you want to use, and give all of your time and attention to those. That's really important. And the last question under branding that I want you to ask yourself is, how will you leave your mark? The word branding and the word brand means to leave your mark, literally. I mean, you brand that, people brand cows, farmers brand cows, and when you get a tattoo, you're branding yourself. You're leaving a mark. And so when you think about putting yourself out there and branding yourself, think about yourself literally leaving a mark on everybody that you come in contact with. Your name, the page that you have, the content that you put out is your mark on people. That's what they're going to remember. So it has to be good, and it has to be consistent, and it has to be helpful and enjoyable. And you just have to always remember that everything you put out on social media that represents your brand is something that is out there forever, and it's ingrained on people's mind forever. And yes, that's a lot of pressure, but at the same time, it's a wonderful thing, because you get to share awesome things that are going to stick with people, and those things are going to attract their friends and their friends. So always make sure that you remember that you're leaving a mark anytime you post, anytime you challenge people and get people involved with what you're doing. So that is branding. in a nutshell. I know I could probably go further into it, but I know that those are the most important things that I really want you to know about branding. But you need to ask yourself those questions this week. Let it simmer a little bit, but don't let the week go by without answering them and getting a plan in place as to how you want to brand yourself. And even after this, if you've already branded yourself and you feel like you need to tweak it and fix things or change things, that's okay. Because as you grow in this business, you're going to find your brand and you're going to, really fit into that brand. So tweak it now, make it what you want it to be now, and then move forward full steam ahead. Okay, so let's talk about social media. Yay, like 95% of our business, right? Social media, at least for me. Some of you may be more extroverted than I am, and you may do a lot more face-to-face stuff than me. But for the coaches who are out there like me who spend most of their time on social media, this is so important. As diamond coaches and people who are wanting to go above and beyond that, we need to have excellent content all the time. I'm learning so much. I mean, I don't feel like I have, great content all the time, but I'm always learning, and I am always trying to put the best content out there possible. So, like I said before, if you have not read Jab, 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 Right Hook, please go get it today. Just do yourself the favor. I don't remember what it is on the Kindle, but it's cheaper there if you want to save some money. Okay, so here's what you need to think about. We already talked about what outlets and what platforms. You need to figure out, do you need to expand? Do you need to get into Pinterest? Do you need to get into Twitter if you're not there? Figure out where you need to be and land there and give it 100%, like I said before. Content is king. It's king. It's everything. It makes or breaks you, and it is so important. You've heard a lot of things about content from probably different training videos and things as if you've been a coach for any amount of time. Here's what you need to know. You need to divide your posts. What that means is you need to make them different, but you need to always have a strategy as well. So 80% of your posts need to be personal. These are the things that is about your life. Everything that you would normally post on Facebook, if you were not a coach, things that you would post on Facebook. Your family, your job, your church, your favorite music, your 2-hour sitting time in traffic, whatever that looks like, whatever you would talk about, 80% of your content needs to be personal. Now, your workout is personal, right? You do it every day. What you eat is personal. That's something that you do every day. You eat, and hopefully you eat healthy as a coach, and you take pictures of it. That all falls under personal. The other 20% is Beachbody. Beachbody related programs, Beachbody announcements, shout outs, people who you're adding to your team. Beachbody is your 20%. But don't think that you have to only post pictures of yourself working out or eating healthy 20% of the time, because that falls under your personal category. So, but you really need to keep that in mind. So basically, for every 4 to 5 posts that you do that are pieces of advice or tips or something helpful to the people that are following you, you need 1 Beachbody post. And it can sound like, man, like I'm not going to be talking about Beachbody very often. Well, if you're posting 2 to 3 times a day, you may not talk about Beachbody that day. That's okay. You don't have to post about Beachbody every day. In fact, sometimes it's probably best if you don't. Because you can make the same impact if you post a picture of yourself working out and maybe put a hashtag like P90X3 or, insanity or 21 Day Fix and not even really talk about it in the content. People are going to go, oh, okay, so that's the workout she's doing, but she's not selling me. She's just showing me her workout. She's just showing me her favorite move or something like that. But you can talk about your workout and healthy eating in your personal stuff. So I would definitely recommend talk about something health related every day along with your personal stuff, but keep the Beachbody stuff to a minimum and only post the most important things. I'm trying to figure out right now too, like how to post about challenge groups, because I'll announce it on Facebook, and then if I need to send a reminder, I'll send that out. But I don't, it's usually like I post about the challenge group, and then a week later I send out a reminder. And you can formulate that however you want it to look. But definitely keep it 80-20, 4 to 5 helpful posts for every one Beachbody post. Super important. You need to make your content engaging. So what does that mean? It means ask questions. Whenever you post something like on your personal page, I found it really helpful to write the question out first. Are you struggling to whatever the question is, and then talk about what you want to talk about. So the first thing that they see is, oh, they want my input. Okay, keep reading. What do they want to know? What do they want my input about? And so it draws people in instantly if you kind of ask a question right off the bat, the very first sentence, and then give your content. I found that has been super helpful. If you don't want to do it that way, at the end of the post, you can always say, click like if you agree, or share a comment below with your thoughts, or share this post if you feel like somebody could use this encouragement or this advice or something. But always keep it engaging. Give people an action tool. Give people something to do with your post. And I think you'll see a higher rate of people sharing, posting, liking your stuff. That's really important. But you got to make it engaging, or else it's just going to go through their news feed and they're going to go, okay, that was nice, rather than, oh, I should probably respond to that. So make it engaging. Experiment, try new things. This is the fun part, you guys, really, about being a coach and having a social media online networking business. It really is exciting because you get to try new things. Some things are going to flop like a dead fish, or I guess an alive fish that's dying. Some things are going to take off and be huge, and you're going to be like, wow, I didn't even realize it was that big of a deal. But you have to experiment to figure out what's going to work. Don't always just copy and paste what your coach is posting. Don't always copy and paste things from other coaches. Don't always just take articles offline and copy and paste it right into your page. But those things aren't helpful, but you need to be creative. Come up with fun things. Come up with things that you like and that you think the people that you know would like and would respond to. Always experiment. Try new things and see what works and what doesn't. And please, please, please don't get discouraged with the things that don't work. Please don't, because some things are going to take off and some things aren't. And there's coaches, like if you look at like Janelle Summers or, Mindy Lawhorn, you'll see some things that are like, holy cow, they had 100 shares and 1,000 likes and this. But then you'll scroll down their page and there's another picture or something that had like 30 likes, no shares. And so you always have to keep that in mind, that not everything is going to be this stellar post that just takes off and is rock star status. That's just life. I've been trying to post more videos, and my videos just don't get very much attention. I'm going to keep working on it and experimenting and tweaking things to try and change it and make it better. But, maybe content for me is what I need to do right now and really focus all my energy on. But you have to figure out what works for you and the audience that you have that's watching you. Always point people to your pages. Always, always, always add your Facebook URL or your Instagram name or anything to pictures that you have that you post. I do this once in a while, like once a month on my personal page. I will say, hey everybody, just so you know, a lot of exciting things are happening over on my Fit page. Would love for you to come over there. I actually did that this week, and I had like 40 people in a day just, like my Fit page, because sometimes they're not paying attention and they don't realize that I do the majority of my posting on my Fit page. So it's important for you to remind people, hey, I'm over here. This is the page that I've got going on. That's where I post the most, and that's where you can be encouraged and uplifted and see what's happening with my life. So always point people to the place that you are in the most, that you put the most valuable content into. It's so important because you don't want people to miss out on that, and you want to get the majority of people into the place that you are the most. I hope that makes sense. So, in Instagram, if you need to put your name in your picture, your fitness pictures and things like that, that's a great idea. It's a great way to get people engaged. I've also noticed an uptick in people going to my fitness page by putting my picture and my fit page URL or link in that picture on my cover page on my personal page. Does that make sense? So on my personal page cover photo, I put a couple personal pictures and then one of me working out with my other Facebook Fit page URL thing on there so that they know, oh, she's got another page. I should probably head over and check that out. So that's a good idea. That definitely worked for me. And if you don't have that already, you may want to look into that. So I really hope that this has helped you as far as branding and working your social media. There are so many other things we could talk about, but I feel like these are a lot of the most important things as you move forward. But consistency is key. Content is king. You just need to always put out excellent content. I know Janelle Summers always says that she doesn't put something out unless she is absolutely in love with the post. Like, she doesn't just throw things out there into the wind and hope that people like it. I mean, she really takes the time to invest in even just a photo of herself working out. I mean, she takes the time to really edit it down, make it look exactly like what she wants it to look like, and it makes sure it's a way that people can connect with her. She adds all of the links and the gives them direction on where to go and what steps to take and what they can do. And so always make sure that your content is excellent and that it is different and that you're trying new things to get more people connected to you always. So, gosh, I hope this helps. And please be thinking through these questions this week. Write it down. Please leave a comment below if you have questions or didn't understand something in this video. I'd love to talk through it. This is the place to ask your questions so that all of us coaches can answer them for you so that we can help you get to the next level. That is what these next 30 days are going to be about. And we're so excited. I cannot wait to see what is at the end of this 30 days for each and every one of you. And I can't wait to see how many diamonds emerge from this group. So it was a pleasure speaking with you today. I'm so glad that we are doing this. Moving forward, full steam ahead. Let's do this. Let's tackle this week and do great, great things. So I'll catch you all later, and leave your comments below and we'll talk through them.